Hi everyone, we're here in Manchester's northern quarter. I'm at the corner of Thomas Street and Tibb Street, or Oak Street? Oak Street, forgive me. And whenever you put a camera on yourself and start talking, it invariably attracts a lot of attention. So we'll try and get this done, and any spontaneous interruptions we'll deal with. Well, Indigene has been going for a little while now. I've got the website set up and you've all had a look at that. I hope it was as absurd and hard to pigeonhole as it was designed to be. I think part of the challenge here is to ensure that we aren't categorized and graded and hierarchied by the Aristotelian worldview, the New World Order, mathematical, scientific worldview, which, as I said in the last couple of videos, is turning us all into the Monsanto way of living. Well, this video here, this short video of me talking to the camera, is what I'd like you to do as the viewer, because what I certainly don't want is for you to just be passive and watch YouTube all day. I don't have the time to post enough videos for all day, but in all seriousness, a great line I remember from the film Desperados with, what's that guy called? He played Zorro, Antonio Banderas, in one of his breakthrough movies, and he was playing the guitar at the start with a little boy. Oh yeah, the director is called Robert Rodriguez. He directed Desperado, and there's a great line where Antonio Banderas' character, he goes ding 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 ding, and he goes, "It is easier to destroy than to create." And there's a point for me saying this, is that in the whole artifice around you, in the kind of police-controlled, mind-brainwashed population here, it is so much easier to destroy, disrupt, upset, criticize than it is to create more of this bullshit. And this is why all these schemes, government schemes, private schemes to try and create more jobs and more movement, more dynamic spirit is failing, because something's changing massively in the air, and I'll try and give you a metaphor here to show you what I mean. We've all seen those videos on the internet of sound waves and vibrations and frequencies, and that massive kind of metal disc that they film from above, and you pour sand on it, and you kind of change the frequency, and you see the kind of big, it's like a snowflake made of sand, and as you up the frequency or lower the frequency, it gets more complex, and the different spokes on the wheel change and they turn into octagons and pentagons. You know what I mean. Anyway, the reason why that's so interesting is because society and people work along the same kind of concept. The reason why we are in such a period of transition is because I think the vibration, the frequency, and forgive me here if I'm starting to sound new age and evidence-free, but the sun's changing. The sun's getting hotter. NASA has released a statement saying that the polarity, the electromagnetic polarity of the sun is about to switch. And I'm not quoting some bullshit, stupid little website here that doesn't show its sources. I'm quoting NASA. And when the official NASA websites say it's going to flip, it might flip. But what I'm trying to say is, back to the vibrating disc. Everything be a-changing. The old ways are failing now, and I consider myself lucky because I've invested 4 years of really going at this on the front line and thinking about this and so forth. So yeah, maybe I'm in a position where I can, see things that other people can't, because this is what I do. It's my job to see this, and I do spend a lot of time on the street, not in a homeless sense, but speaking to people, feeling energies, spontaneously finding things. And things are changing. So what I want you as the kind of joining in viewer, as the participant in Indigene, to do is to go out there with your phone or your camera or whatever and just film a disruption of something which before you would find perfectly normal. Maybe it's a big advertising display, maybe it's an advert for cosmetic surgery, maybe it's people handing out flyers for something a bit amoral, maybe it's some media outfit you've stumbled across that are just spreading bullshit. What I'd like you to do is disrupt it and don't allow it to proceed, as in destroying is easier than creating, and send me the footage. And if it's good, I'll host it and we'll view it and we'll talk about it. That's just part one. I need people that we can trust across the country and across the world, that we could, whose houses we can stay at, whose cars we can use, whose computer equipment we can use, whose expertise we can borrow. Because it's not about money anymore. I mean, we still live in the financial world, and I am very grateful for any donations that come my way, because I can't buy food with good humor, with a good spirit. But what I want most of all from you guys is solidarity and community, because I am, well, let me rephrase that. I don't want to do this on my own anymore. I want to do this with very like-minded people, and you can achieve so much. You can go out and spontaneously, I like that word today, you can go out and very quickly create very, very, very engaging content, video content, which I try and do by going out there and just throwing your balls in people's faces, but in a good way. But I'd like people to do this with. I'd like a team, and one thing Indigene should be as well, because we do live on a small island and we can get anywhere. I live in the middle of this island in Manchester, and I can get anywhere within a few hours, anywhere on this island, not on this planet. So I need people to help me with cars and places to stay and things to do. I need tips as well. What would you like Indigene to be? We all know the end goal. The end goal of Indigene, and I think it should be for any healthy adult really, is to make this current slow, unsustainable hellhole, it needs to be very quickly and very clearly unsustainable before the general public get it. Because they're not going to budge at the moment. And so I need you guys to help me disrupt and destroy. Disrupt and destroy the current, you know. And like this is one of the problems I have here, like we're 7 minutes into this video, is that you start sounding, because the media and the propaganda and Hollywood and cinema and the collective culture has sucked in any idea of revolution to the point where me here, sat here, talking about these things, I feel self-conscious that I sound like fucking John Connor from Terminator, or I sound like fucking Che Guevara from the film Che, like talking about revolution. But we have to, and we can't let the cynical, ballless, soulless, everything is shit mentality, this nihilistic hipster cynicism of like, screw the world, let's buy some trendy clothes. We can't let that win. And if I get laughed at, if people think I'm crazy for talking about these things, then that's tough shit to them. A minority of one doesn't make me wrong. Just because everyone else is full of lies doesn't make them right. It's hard to explain. Like I walk around with my music on, and I have these great ideas, and it's this thing that it gets lost in translation because I sit down and I try and explain it to you guys. But what I'm trying to say, and the overall message here, and this too long didn't watch, too long, TLDR, too long didn't read, too long didn't watch. Indigene is on. I need your help. I need logistical help. So do get in touch. You know how to contact me. I read the messages, the private messages that are sent here on YouTube or on Facebook or on Google. So yeah, it's on, and let's cause some disruption.